So when a seemingly all-powerful alien empire from a completely different galaxy comes to Earth threatening it, Superman seems to be the only superhero there at the moment available to help protect Earth. But for right now, he has gotten himself in a little bit of a pickle as the entire city of Metropolis hangs in danger to be utterly destroyed. Now my name is AJ, this is the Hero Informer, and let's see what's happening. What we see and understand here is two things. One, this is a past version of Superman, which you can immediately tell by his almost classic costume. And two, right now Superman is on top of a declining nuclear ship right above Metropolis. 80,000 tons of a nuclear warship, meaning if this thing would fall and crash and actually explode, not only will it take out the city, but half of the entire state, and leaving radiation and poisoning for the other half. So Superman really can't afford this fail and loss if he isn't able to stop this thing from falling. But as you see the alien leader Grunhar, he finally disables the gravity on the ship, letting the entire thing plummet, with Superman having mere seconds to think of a plan to save everyone. But he wouldn't be Superman if he didn't at least try. But you know, he can't just use his super strength and try to lift it straight up, because he runs into the same kind of Homelander problem. How yeah, he might be strong enough to lift the plane, but because of physics, in this case, the ship would crack in half and now you have two giant pieces falling. No, instead he has to think out of the box. He has to be smarter than that. And this is even harder on him because this is a younger, inexperienced Superman. A little less powerful too, as he himself questions if he can even lift the entire thing. Which I mean, 80,000 tons is a lot of weight, but not as much when we have literally seen Superman previously bench the weight of the entire Earth before, for days on end. But immediately we see Superman spring into action, using a combination of his flight, speed, and super strength to not only save Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen, getting them out of there, but he makes a statement: if he just holds it from the middle, the ends will break in half like a breadstick, and the hull of the ship is already heating up. So while everybody, and I mean everybody, the entire world watches, including some of his worst enemies, such as Lex Luthor, Superman comes with a solution. As you see, Superman isn't just strong, he is fast. So using his super speed, he speeds along, holding up all sides of the ship almost simultaneously, as he slowly guides his descent, while using his super breath to cool down the metal so it doesn't brittle and break. Just showing you that Superman not only has bronze, but the brains as well. Also, I just think it's kind of hilarious sometimes how Lex Luthor thinks the world would be better without people like Superman, without aliens or metahumans. Yet in a situation like this, he could do nothing but sit on the sideline as the ship would have fell and detonated upon Metropolis if not for Superman. But as he is able to guide the ship down, he guides it into the Metropolis Bay. But because he's guiding it, the full 80,000 tons falls directly on top of him. Now this little dilemma didn't come without its problems, of course, with the comic going on to say, a crew of a US battleship suffered from many minor injuries, some parking garages and subway tunnels flooded, windows being shattered up to half a mile away, parts of the city experiencing complete power loss. But, and most importantly, everyone lived. Everyone. Because as we cut down to the civilian view in Metropolis, we see everybody collecting their bearings once more as a figure emerges from the now risen water level. And that figure is none other than Superman himself. But it seems he isn't fully okay. He is wobbling a little bit as that little feat of saving the giant ship took a bit out of him. And no, this isn't the city of New York in Marvel. Metropolis actually holds their hero, Superman, in high regards, as they all rush over to help him, in a scene which almost relates back to what happened in Spider-Man 2 the movie, how the citizens of the city actually care for their would-be savior and help the hero even when the hero himself is down. But moving past the city up above into the sectors of space, we actually see on the alien Empire ship. And of course, being an empire, there are a bunch of different races, but mainly controlled by Grunhar, the green scroll looking alien, and his species. But we do see Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen up there, because as being friends of Superman, they were given access to the ship and they're trying to use this opportunity to report, as they are reporters after all. And so they start to do a little digging as they find out what the next challenge is, because as you know, these aliens are participating in a little bit of a gladiator arena type situation. How Superman is a chosen subject of Earth, and now he has to partake in 3 different challenges. The first challenge, which he just defeated and beat, was fighting their most feared alien creature and moving the plummeting ship. And now with the second challenge, it's going to be less about brawn and strength and more about intelligence and quick thinking. And it seems like these aliens don't prescribe to the same definition of rigged or cheating that we might, as because for their next game, they literally broke into the Fortress of Solitude and stole the shrunken Kryptonian city of Kandor. And because this alien empire likes to proceed with gladiator type events and games like this, betting is also very important to them. And with this new turn of events, business is booming, but not in the way that the leader, Grunhar, would want. Because as you would see, the bets are leaning in favor of Superman himself, which makes Grunhar himself absolutely mad, as because his people, the Garathian Empire, has never lost. But of course there is a first time for everything, especially when you're up against the Man of Steel. And speaking of the Man of Steel, we cut back over on Earth, where we see him finally get up from his little heroic deed and a little nap, where we see the citizens of Metropolis try to comfort Superman, asking if he is alright, even one of them offering him a snack in the form of a burger. But Superman already knows that there is no time to rest, because yeah, he was successful, but his friends and the Earth itself is still in harm's way if he cannot deal with this alien empire. So he takes a disguise, flying up at super speeds, getting ready to land on the ship. And as he finally does, he is immediately greeted with Lois Lane as they come running towards each other and fall into each other's embrace, even going as far as to share a kiss. And surely it isn't hard to have the hero and their love interest actually be that, a love interest. An interesting one at that, like Superman and Lois Lane could be. Looking at you, Amazing Spider-Man series. But unfortunately, their sweet little moment doesn't last for long, as Lois Lane asks Superman, does he even know what the next challenge is? But Superman has no idea, with him even going as far to try to use his X-ray vision, but the entire container is lined with lead. So instead, we see the Garathian leader, Grunhar, finally speak up and clear the confusion, with him going on to say, we went through a lot of trouble to get this. And as we have seen before, it is a lost city of Kandor, and all of his 30,000 inhabitants, of potentially the last surviving city of Krypton, Superman's destroyed home planet. But not only is it there, it is surrounded by 12 deadly arms, each with a supercomputer intelligence, and one goal, to destroy the entire city. But of course, not only that, there is more. The display case is also surrounded by his battle androids, which are equipped with red sun batons, meaning if Superman is not careful, these robots can actually do a number on him and disable his powers altogether. And rightfully so, Superman is absolutely fuming, because he then goes on to tell the Garathian leader, through gritted teeth, he won't let him endanger 30,000 lives for just a ridiculous love of bloodsport. But it just keeps going, as Grunhar reveals even more. Because as it would seem, if Superman fails and doesn't save the city, this alien empire has two cannons directly pointed at two different cities, Earth cities, London and New York. Meaning if Superman fails to save his beloved Kryptonian city, he will also lose two Earth cities, which comes to a total of 15 million combined lives that are on the line and in the palm of Superman's hand. And I mean, just an observation, but where are all the other heroes? Like, surely if this world-threatening alien invasion or empire came to Earth's doorstep, you would see the Justice League, the Justice Society, the JLA, and other one-off heroes just come and just obliterate this threat. But this is a Superman book after all, and Superman needs to be the focal point. And for the absolute caveat on top, Superman has 3 seconds to defeat this challenge. And because, you know, this is a slightly less experienced Superman, his resolve falters for a second. He questions if he can even do this, if he is the man for the job. His heartbeat skips because of the sheer weight of the moment. But of course, he has someone like Lois Lane by his side, as she goes on to tell and encourage him that the entire reason she even became a reporter is not for the fame or anything. No, it's because all of the crime, injustices, war, and other things wrong in the world, and this is her way of helping. She didn't just sit by and just let things happen, even if her efforts in the end are insignificant. Just going on to tell Superman that no matter how big the problems may be, at the very least you have to try to do better, try to be the Superman. As Superman not only thanks her, but says for the record that he really did wish he kept that burger from earlier. And with that, it is on. The alarm rings out, and Superman officially has 3 seconds on the clock to save 15 million lives. As in a 3-panel shot, we see Superman zoom off, using a combination of all of his abilities, thinking outside of the box as one of the best heroes Earth has to offer, using not only his super speed, super strength, laser vision, but even his almost indestructible cape. Because as he goes on to say himself, he can't possibly deactivate all of these machines, some even using red sun technology, in time, in 3 seconds. So throwing his impervious cape over the city, he protects it while he takes out all the other machinery. And Superman's plan actually seems to work, as shielding the city just for 1 extra second gives Superman the time he needs to defend and destroy the other machinery, grabbing the last Kryptonian city, saving the day, and winning the challenge. As he zooms flying by, grabbing the city and holding it close to his chest, protecting it with his life. And even though this has been a whirlwind of a day, it seems Superman just won't relent and give up. No, he perseveres, especially now that he emerges and is declared the winner and victorious of the second challenge, making his 2 worlds proud, saving not only the Kryptonian city, but multiple Earth cities as well. And this time there is no doubt that he is the favored among the alien empire. making Grunhar, the leader of the Garathians, absolutely mad. But he pays us no mind, saying that Superman can barely stand, and that he can guarantee that he will fail this next challenge. Because as we find out, the next challenge involves a Daxamite. And if you don't know who Daxamites are, they are another race of beings completely on the same level, or maybe even more powerful than Kryptonians themselves. But for now, this issue comes to a close, signaling the end of this video. So yeah, that was issue 1068 of Action Comics, or part 2 of the Challenge from the Stars storyline. And yeah, in my opinion, while Superman in this is a little depowered, but I mean, it's fair. They gotta tell a good story, they can't have him just one-shotting and super speeding everywhere and defeating every opponent. But regardless of that, I really enjoyed this, maybe even more than the first issue. But what did you think? If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, or even leave all your thoughts and comments down below. If you're new and enjoy this type of content, subscribe and put on post notifications. As always, this is the Hero Informer, and thank you for watching.